Coolest thing ever, eh? Yeah, okay. So we're back in high school, right? There's a guy I used to hang out with. Called him Seedy. It's because of this time... Actually, no, I'm not going to go into that. It was a little incident involving chocolate yogurt with banana chunks, school assembly, his pants, and a girl called Lena Popovich. I'll tell you another time. He was a proper nerd. Well, still is. Actually, we all were back then. It was way before it was cool to be in IT. We had this teacher, religious studies, hardcore Christian wafflehead. It's a bit like Ned Flanders in The Simpsons. You know, never lost his rag about anything, totally unflappable. Arnold Fielder. Had to call him Arnold, apparently it was a trust thing. The class was called Religious Studies. That's what it was called. Naturally, the only thing we ever studied was the Bible. One day, CD sticks his mitten up in class and he's like, "Why do we never get to read any religions other than the Bible?" That's where the guy went fucking pale. As close as I've ever seen him come to breaking point. Anyway, we'd had him for about 6 months. He was new that year. This guy called Benjamin Peace offs himself and the guy's dunnies. Just took a whole fuckload of pills and sat there on the shitter with the lid down waiting to die. Funny thing is, no one ever noticed. The place stank so bad that no one picked up on the smell of someone eating the great granddaddy of Indian curries and then missing the bowl by about 1.5 meters. Not till some poor punk of a 12th grader was in the next cubicle. Ran at a bog roll, knocks on the door, he's like, "Hey buddy, I'm out of loo paper, mate." Oh, they must have fucked with his head royally, I can tell you. Still lucky cunt got a month off to deal with the trauma, so it's not all bad. So the point of that whole story is the school's in an uproar about teenage fucking depression or whatever it is. School counsellor came round to each roll call class the next morning. Just to talk to us, make sure we're okay. No one really cared, but we didn't mind too much. It meant we had 15 minutes less of first period that day. But Arnold Fielder, he seemed to take it harder than anyone else. He was real messed up about it. For the next few weeks, all his classes are about mortality and how important it is to secure your place in heaven. Fucking Bible-bashing lunatic. So one day, he starts class with his speech. Now class, you may have noticed that over the last few weeks we've been focusing a lot on death and mortality. And I think you all know why that is. I've always said that you're all welcome to come and speak to me any time you've got something you want to discuss. But I know it's not cool to talk to adults. And I also know some of you have trouble opening up. For this reason, I'm going to write my email address and my ICQUIN on the board. And I encourage any of you to use it at any time to contact me. Fucking dickhead. And he's asking for it. 6 months of foisting this monotheistic fantasy world bullshit on us. He had to know we were going to fuck with him. It was Seedy who started it. I'm round his place one afternoon, he's like, "Hey, do you want to see if Mr. Fielder's online?" So we log in, and sure enough, there he is. Created this bogus identity for ourselves. Princess_16, or, I don't know, something equally crap and ambiguous. Start talking to him. We say, we're in his class, but we're scared to say who we are. Take turns at the keyboard, just making up all sorts of shit. Having trouble with guys, getting picked on, you name it. We'd come up with these outrageous stories, and every time I'm thinking, surely, he's going to twig, he's going to tumble to it, figure out this chick doesn't really exist, but no. Arnie. That's what Princess 16 was calling him, Arnie. He was so caught up in his own importance as some sort of pseudo-father figure, he never cottoned to it. The whole thing ended when CD and I just got sick of the whole fucking thing. Just to make things a little bit more interesting, though, we got the thickhead to run a program on his computer we gave him. Installed a backdoor Trojan so he could fuck with it remotely. To be safe, we left it a couple of weeks before we did anything. And we started with his desktop. He had this picture of his wife and kids there, see? So we downloaded it, opened it up, scrolled a couple of words in the bottom right-hand corner, uploaded it again. Sure enough, next time he reboots his computer, Sitting there waiting for him. In the bottom right-hand corner is this message that reads, "Keep up the good work. Love, God." Thing is, next class, he was even bouncier than usual. I swear he fucking believed it. God spoke to me through my desktop. Hallelujah. So, we decided to ramp it up some. Flash forward to next Saturday night, we log in. He's browsing some crappy website or other, so we do the same trick. Only this time it's this picture of pigs being slaughtered in an abattoir we found on the internet. And the message in this dripping red fuck off evil typeface reads, "Just kidding, it's the other guy." And then I set his computer to open and close the CD-ROM tray every 20 seconds repeatedly. Come Monday, he's taken annual leave. Wednesday, he's handed in his resignation. On Saturday, my dad walks in with the paper. He's like, "Hey Greg, isn't this one of your teachers?" So I have a look. He's handed himself in. Turns out he was into child pornography. There was this big hoo-ha over it because apparently he hadn't broken any laws or whatever, but, well, evidently he had. They ended up doing him 18 months for having child porn on his computer. Funny thing is, we never thought to go looking through his files. Wonder what had happened if we had. Now, Seedy, well, he became a born-again Christian after that. Took it as proof that everything happens for a reason, some cosmic plan. Didn't find what he was looking for in Christianity, of course. Went through a few phases after that. You know, tried his hand at every religion he could find, major or minor. For me, nah, just proves what I've always known. This world is just basically semi-structured chaos, you know? There are no conspiracies in government, no higher powers, no right, no wrong, just hairless apes running around in circles. Certain identifiable patterns emerge because of the basic underlying fundamentals of who we are. But ultimately, this world, everything in it, basically just predictably random. But yeah, that'd definitely be the coolest thing that's ever happened to me. See then, now you're in trouble.
Why is that?
You do that, you go over the limit, yeah? Crossing the line.
Is this a literal legal line or a figurative line?
And technically, matters like this are investigated by the federal police, right?
Yeah.
Which means they have to grade computer crimes. Now, if you're pirating one or two games, nobody's going to care enough to prosecute you. Hey, you can be selling them at stalls down in Chinatown and no one's going to touch you.
Bullshit.
No, it's true. A friend of mine works for a software company. Turns out they find out that some of their software's being flogged down in Chinatown, anonymous tip, right? So they get on the can, call up the federal police, speak to Detective Sergeant Chief Inspector in charge of whatever the fuck, right?
And he told them they're up shit's creek.
More or less. He said unless it's more than $5,000 worth of damage to a specific company, they're unlikely to investigate at all, and even then there are other factors that come into play, including money. For some guys earning several $100 a week selling pirate copies of software down Chinatown ain't worth shit to them. Do the math. If 5K is a minimum grade worth investigating, how many copies of Zombie Attack 7 or Splattering for PlayStation 2 need to be sold at what? $15 a pop down Chinatown for them to give so much as a wet fart about the little chimp?
Point taken, but they care more about music piracy?
Well, sort of. I mean, coming down on it is really in vogue right now, what with the whole RIAA shit in America and what have you. Besides, do the math on that one. How big's your iPod?
I don't have one.
Okay, well...
I haven't opened it.
Not the point what type it is. Question stands. How big is it?
Yes, it does matter. It matters a hell of a lot. I have an open player based on open standards and it costs half the price. Not everyone gives into that Apple crap. And there is a difference, okay? Do you ask me for a Kleenex or if I go and Xerox something for you? When you use a product name as a descriptor for a service, you're just giving that whole product saturation, commercialization bullshit.
Yeah, Americans use those terms, dude.
We're not Americans.
Are you done?
Heard my rant.
Good, so back to my rant. Yeah. Where was I? Music, iPods. Right. How big is it?
8 gig.
How full is it?
Half.
Hey man, be with you in a sec.
Hey man.
So 4-ish gig of MP3s, right? It's 3 to 5 meg per track, let's say 4 on average. You're running around with what? 1,024 songs there. Maybe half that if you listen to a whole lot alongside Frank's crap. Now if you download all those instead of paying for them, it's say $2 a pop. You're walking around with a grand worth of music in your pocket right there. That already puts you higher on Federal Police's list than Winky Joe down on the corner flogging pirate copies of Vista. If you think about how many people are starting to run big hard drive based iPods with 40 or even 80 gig.
I get where you're going. It just surprises me how fucked up the priorities are.
Oh, I wholeheartedly agree.
I actually have a moral opposition to piracy.
Wait. You have a moral stance on something?
Look, why do you think I only have one copy of Windows on my system at home? Sure, I may think it's complete fucking rubbish that's pushed on people. And sure, I may disagree with their business practices. That doesn't mean I'm going to steal from them.
Well, you don't think they've earned a bit of shrinkage for treating people the way they do?
Okay, let's say you're one of those totally anti-Microsoft guys.
I am.
Fine, so you are. How does increasing their market penetration help the anti-Microsoft cause?
Pardon?
Well, pay for it or not, if you just keep using the software, then you don't help the alternatives along, and you end up no better than the people who actively support Microsoft by buying copies and so forth.
So who said I run Windows at all?
I don't mean you specifically, it's just that... Never mind. So, Leon, how you been?
Yeah, good, yeah?
Alright. My mum's kind of at me about that whole living with Joseph thing.
Oh, the whole sex before marriage thing.
Yeah, she thinks we're living in sin.
Are you?
Not as often as I'd like.
Yeah, I'll pay that.
You've been waiting to bust that one out all day, haven't you?
Maybe.
So,
We probably should actually talk about what we're here to talk about, right?
yeah, what are we here to talk about?
Well, Kevin gave me a brief rundown earlier, which led to discussion about morality, which led to discussion about privacy, which led to discussion about whatever we discussed.
Right, you said he had some work for us?
Well, not me, and not really work.
Right. Well, if it's not work, then what is it?
Well, it is work, it just can't be above the table, payment-wise.
Wait, why'd you come to us with this?
I know you guys have the technical expertise to do this, and I know you've,
With what?
remember your Chatterbox vampire thing?
Yeah.
The what?
Well, that made me think you guys would be okay with doing that sort of thing, so when my uncle spoke to me about it, I thought of you guys.
What's the Chatterbox vampire?
So what's the job? Some program that's a bit out of the ordinary.
Hello? Third person present who's got no idea what you're crapping on about? What's a Chatterbox vampire?
Some program, alright. I'll tell you later, it's complicated.
I'm not quite sure how best to...
Just spit it out. What does he want us to do? So before we discuss this properly, why don't you tell me about this vampire of yours?
Okay, about 2 years ago, this guy came to me to write some software for him. He had this idea, right? He sells mobile phones, calling cards, ringtones, that kind of crap.
Yep.
Well, you know Chatterbox.
You mean that ICQ or MSN like messaging program, right?
That's the one. You ever sign up for it?
No.
Well, when you do, you put in all this crap for your profile, right? Where you live, what your interests are, etc.
Right.
Now, you also put in your mobile phone number and email address, although the mobile phone number is optional.
Gotcha.
So, this was his idea, right? You can search based on these details. So why not write a program that pretends to be a client, logs into the network, does searches for, say, everyone who lives in the greater Brisbane metropolitan area, age 18 to 25, takes their email addresses and siphons them off to a batch mailing list.
You made a spam bot?
Well, it didn't do the emailing, it just found the email addresses.
Oh, that's cold.
I know.
Did it actually work?
Well enough. I kept having to adapt it as the guys who make Chatterbox plug the security holes in the protocol that allowed me to do it.
Such as...
Well, for instance, if you did the same search using a single login more than 5 times in the same hour, it'd begin to loop the results. So you'd stop getting useful stuff after a while. I changed the program so when it began to get duplicates, it'd log out and log back in with a different account. And I also had to make it automatically register new accounts for itself.
So it was on the strength of you being paid under the table to write this evil spam bot of doom that Kevin's come to us with this.
Seems like it.
Okay, well, now that we've got that out of the way, what do you think?
I think we could do it.
Yeah, I know we could do it. Question is, should we do it?
Well, what do you think the odds are of being caught?
Slim to none, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
So we find a way into this guy's network, get at his files, copy and remove any trace that we were ever even there, and walk away with $2,000.
Do we need the money?
How do you mean?
Well, is this really worth it?
I'm not desperate for cash, if that's your question.
Neither.
So it comes down to whether we want to do it or not, right?
It'd be a challenge.
We'd have to be really careful though, dude.
I know.
No, like, really careful.
Yeah, I know.
Like, we are breaking the fucking law. Careful.
You know something? This could be kind of cool.
Another beer?
Sure. I'll call Kevin and let him know.
Whoa, wait.
What?
Look, just... be cautious. No details on the phone, okay?
Sure thing, Agent Mulder.
Now look, I'm serious, okay? After this phone call, never mention it again on the phone, never mention it by email, okay?
Okay. Kevin, we're interested in helping with your uncle's problem.
Okay, let's get started. First off, covering our asses. List all the ways we can be traced.
Right, well, the IP address of any of our connections been linked back to our ISP. Define untraceable.
Only piggyback on someone else's net connection.
How are we going to do that?
Unsecured wireless.
You know a good one, I take it.
Stumbled across it the other day. I was doing some stuff on my laptop.
Where is it?
So that's the beauty part. You get a good signal from the workshop behind that old house, been scheduled for demolition since like, forever. I think it's a neighbour's net connection we're picking up. Yeah, it means we can't be traced physically to our apartments, even if they do trace us back to our point of access.
Right, so next up. It's possible, however unlikely, that they could figure out what MAC addresses our wireless cards are on, or even what systems we're using based on fingerprinting.
Okay, so we get ultra paranoid. We don't use our systems. We build new ones out of spare parts, scrap them when done, format them specially for the job. Simple. Okay. What else?
Well, IPs, MAC addresses, system profiling. Obviously we want to make it as hard as possible for someone to trace us back to whoever's net connection we're hijacking.
Okay. How do we do that?
So we need some transparent proxies to route all our traffic through, preferably from a long way away. And we need a few of them.
And how do we do that?
Zombies.
Zombies.
Zombies. We get people to run Trojans that turn their systems into transparent proxies for as long as we need them. They'll log into the IRC server as they become active and report in as ready. Usually these sort of things are used for denial of service drones, but we'll be using them for something different.
It'll be custom software?
Yeah, I've written something like this before, so it shouldn't take me more than a night.
Okay, and how do we get people to be so obliging as to run the Trojans for us?
Leave that to me.
Okay.
Is there power in this shed?
Yeah, there is. We'll see the UPS on it just to make sure any bad wiring doesn't fuck us though. So, let's get started on these systems. Harper Black.
So, what do we know?
Well, he used to run a business with Kevin's uncle, apparently, hence all the hoo-ha.
We should check if he has wireless.
True, we could be very, very lucky indeed.
Unsecured wireless, public shares.
Yeah, I don't see it happening, though.
Well, let's get these machines set up. We'll go scout the house out.
Alright, let's go over the config one last time. What do you want of those two?
I need the primary machine with the nicest keyboard to run a slick as hell distro for coding. Let's say Slackware.
Blackware.
Hey, I'm coding, my choice. I want another system for just in case, same OS. As long as we got shell access, we should be alright. No need for a monitor.
Okay, what else?
Well, we need a Windows box with some development tools.
These two machines with the fastest processor will be your Linux boxes. And this little puppy here with the 2 gig of RAM shall hereby be dubbed Crashy McBluescreen, the token Windows machine.
I like the way you think.
Well, ain't no way we're going to be able to pull off something like this without life-threatening quantities of caffeine now, is there? Ah, shit! Looks like the 12-volt rails crossed down the PC speaker or something. Jesus, I don't know. Either way, these wires are melted to shit.
Do we have another motherboard or whatnot?
Yeah, it's in the van. I'll go get it.
I can take it from here. How's Crashy?
Just having a joyous time trying to get Windows to recognise a fucking SATA card.
Tell you what, let's leave these running and go play hacker.
Road trip time?
You sure the walls of this heap aren't going to block the wireless reception?
Yep, absolutely.
Absolutely they are, or absolutely they aren't?
Could be either. To be honest, I can't for the life of me remember which materials block which signals or what wavelengths. Well, if it helps, I'm pretty sure the car's made of aluminium. Yep. Nothing to see here. Just lost. Totally lost. Not in any way trying to scan for your wireless network.
Got something. Hey, what's this guy's business called?
Black and Hess, I think.
So a wireless network with a name like Black_Hess might be the one?
Dude, you are making me moist. Tell me it's unsecured or web.
No such luck. Fuck me. WPAPSK2. And the reception's not that crash hot either. Guess whoever set it up wasn't totally inept.
Oh, nothing's ever easy. Oh, someone's coming. Wow. She's going to his place.
Huh?
Some girl, young. Does he have a daughter?
You're asking me.
She must be 20ish.
Hot?
Pure sex.
You can't argue with that. Doesn't really help us though.
That's where you're wrong, my boy. Well, you're thinking in terms of security flaws and exploits. I'm thinking
With your dick?
no, like a social hacker should.
Explain.
She's in her late teens and has a computer. Wait here, I've got an idea.
Wait, what?
I'm gonna turn the lights out. Pay dirt. There were piles of old letters in the mailbox.
And?
2 female names, Patricia and Madison, on separate letters.
Great. Which one's the daughter?
Dude, nobody in the mid-80s called anyone Patricia.
My sister's name's Patricia.
Yeah, and how old is she?
28.
So she was born in what, 1979?
I guess.
So she wasn't born in the mid-80s.
You gonna tell me what you're doing?
Just you go make your zombies and what have you on the Windows box.
Okay. Haven't done any programming in Win32 for a while.
Oh yeah. Brilliance in a biscuit, baby.
What did you do?
Google. The hacker's best friend. Madison Black, location Hornsby Heights.
Okay, seriously, who puts that shit down?
Madison Black, I guess.
Where'd you find it?
Networks. It's some sort of MySpace live journal jobby, I think.
You sure it's her?
Well, description fits and the pics sure look like the bird I saw.
Nice. So what now?
2 weakest points in any network. Teenage girls who MySpace, and 13-year-old boys on World of Warcraft.
I'm gonna need some coffee to get this done tonight.
Good plan.
You want?
Is Richard Stallman a hippie?
How do you take it?
Black as a devil and sweet as a stolen kiss. This have to be the most uncomfortable bed I've ever made. I felt like there was a kink in my soul after curling up on this one. Hey Liam, you been up all night?
Yeah. You wanna make me some coffee?
I can do that. Might have some myself. And a cigarette.
I'm nearly done, I think. Just need to sarin out this thing and hope to Christ no virus scanners pick it up.
Are they likely to?
They will if they're using a heuristic scan, or if there's a particularly proactive firewall on duty.
Are you gonna be a problem?
Probably not. We don't need too many systems to be infected by this thing.
Cool. How are we getting this out?
Well, GameSpan lists our top-selling video game is Hammer of Suri.
What is that? Something about Tom Cruise's kid?
Some kind of action game. I've repackaged the crack as a torrent, and I'll send it out over the big wide internet. Not many people will try it, but as I said, we only need a handful to download the crack, try it out.
How long do we know if it works?
Well, I'll upload it before I hit the sack. We should check it in a couple of hours.
Alright. I'll keep looking into Maddie.
I might take a turn sleeping. Can you turn on something a little more ambient?
Sure.
Do you ever wonder how important having a motivation is?
Okay.
Well, that stuff I just wrote. Sure, it was based on old code and probably wasn't too much hassle, but it was more impressive than anything I've done the last 2 months straight.
It's because you had a motivation, gringo.
Yeah. Necessity is the mother of all coding.
Hello? Madison's been posting on another forum.
Cool. You do your thing and I'll do my sleep thing.
Oh, Maddie. You need X-Registry Cleaner. Shame it doesn't exist. Yet.
You know, I'm fucking surprised this place hasn't been torn down yet. Greg?
Grubs up. Pizza and beer.
Why are you wet?
Why am I wet? Because, while you were out of it, I was out getting beer and pizza. And while I was doing that, somebody upstairs noticed and thought it'd be really, really funny to drop the entire contents of the sky on my head.
Why didn't you just park close to the shed?
You really are a dumb fuck sometimes, Leon, aren't you? I'm not exactly going to park right at the front of this place, am I? Can you think of a better way to make sure somebody notices we're here?
Give me a break. I haven't had breakfast or coffee yet.
You know, there are some fucking weird conventions about drinking. Never have figured it out.
How do you mean?
Well, no beer before midday, for one. And some colour spirits you can't have until 1 o'clock in the afternoon, unless you're allowed to start drinking at 11 a.m.
But whiskey's okay before breakfast.
Yeah, only if you're Humphrey Bogart, and you're not.
Yeah, well, what if your sleeping patterns are perpetually fucked up?
Well, then I reckon you can toss them all out the window and shoot whiskey any time of the day or night. Hey, how'd you get on with that pet Trojan of yours?
Yeah. Okay, so the theory goes that every time a computer gets infected, it opens a connection to a public chat server, logs in with the key that I made, and lists itself as available, so we can bounce connections off it.
Are they all...
Uh-huh.
How fucking many do you want to have?
Fuck me. It must be 250 in there, give or take. Guess a lot of people wanted to pirate Hammer Asuri.
No kidding. Look, I'm not choosing right now to get on moral on you or anything, but it's not infectious, is it?
No, it's not a virus, it's a Trojan.
Good, so we can disinfect remotely? But when we're done with this, I mean.
You shouldn't be too hard. When it phones home, if a certain user is logged in with a certain name, it shuts down.
Good, because, dude, 250 is a lot of computers.
So how'd you get on with Madison?
Oh, I forgot. Very fucking well indeed.
Joygasm, so? Give me the details.
Okay, she frequents this forum where misanthropic brats rant about crap, right?
Right. So what do they rant about?
Usual crap, she doesn't really have much of interest to say. Look, here are a couple of premium posts by Black _Madison. I totally spent way too much money on shoes today. Or here's another one. I totally spent way too much money on socks today. You know, the usual bullshit.
Right.
Well, she just turned 18, right?
How do you know that?
Well, I went through all the posts on the forum last night, including the Introduce Yourself thread she posted to.
Right. So, how does that help up?
And check this out. In this thread here, she whinges about...
Some program that didn't uninstall properly or something.
That's what I thought. So I joined up to post a recommendation, a product called X-Registry Cleaner.
Uh-huh. I'm not seeing the good bit yet.
Well, why don't you check out X-Registry's website?
Okay. Hey, isn't that one of your domain names?
Yep. Haven't used that one in a long time.
So you made this site?
Yeah, it took about 45 minutes.
Oh, fuck me. Tell me you didn't do what I think you just did.
You mean made a program that quickly searched for the specific file that her copy of Windows was complaining about, while at the same time installing Backrub in 2.31 and then stuck it up on the fake website for the product that I created all in the space of an hour? Thank you, Visual Basic.
Dude, backdoor's fine most of the time, but any virus scanner worth its salt's gonna pick it up. Plus, if her dad, if he's helped set up the computer, she's gonna find it, get freaked out.
Dude, she bought it.
What?
Well, my hit counter shows 1 download, and right before I went out to get pizza, her copy of Backdoor phoned in by email.
Jeez.
We got her. I connected a while ago as a test. We're on the home network, baby.
You magnificent bastard.
Yeah, like I said, weakest link in any network.
Alright, Captain Win 32. What do we do from here?
Well, her dad's running Windows of some flavour or other, I'm guessing. Or hoping.
Let's find out. Okay, I got 4 IP addresses, and they're all going through 192.168.2.1, so that'll be the router. Now, .81 is Madison's computer. .82 isn't sending or receiving much by way of traffic. Neither is .83. .100 isn't sending or receiving fuck all.
Probably a network printer.
Yeah. And by the way they're so close numerically, I would assume they're all DHCP addresses.
So which one's Daddy Dearest?
Got an idea. And see if their router's still set to the default password.
Somebody went to all the trouble of turning on WPA encryption, so I doubt it.
Yeah, it's worth a try. Shit.
Color me not surprised. Oh, it's time for the more complicated approach.
Such as?
Let me just pull myself up to old Crushy here. My MCSE isn't good for absolutely nothing, you know. When you study for an MCSE, they cover all sorts of useful stuff.
Go on.
Well, through good old BDA, we'll log on to Maddie's computer, get a command prompt.
Yeah.
Windows systems will happily give out all sorts of useful information about themselves, if you know how to ask the right questions.
So how do we do that? What are we looking at?
Let's see. The machine's called Patricia_Blacks, and there's a user logged in name of Patricia, which means it's the mother.
The mother.
Exactly right.
So .83 is our winner.
John's the login name, there are no public shares, and the system's called Caprica. What the fuck's Caprica? Do you think it's in a star signs or something?
No. Caprica. Like New Caprica. He's into Battlestar Galactica.
That could be useful to know. If we can guess his password, we should be able to get into his administrative shares.
Admin what?
Well, ever since Windows NT, Microsoft's done people the disservice of creating a share for each partition on the hard drive with the same name as the drive. So, for example, if we're calling the drive C, then the share's going to be $C. Which is, of course, it's only accessible to computer administrators, for obvious reasons. So we know his IP address, we know his username, we have access to his local area network, and we know, in theory, what share we should be able to get access to.
So you want to brute force his system?
I really don't see any other choice.
Wait. I just want to check one thing.
What?
If he likes Battlestar, let's put some phrases in related to the show.
I don't like your chances.
Yeah, well, everything's about chance, really. No love. Hey, if we keep failing to connect to his box, will Windows whinge at it?
Yeah, no, not really. Well, I don't know, not by default. He'd have to be running some fairly crazy software.
Should we assume he's not?
Well, if he is, there's not really an awful lot we can do. I just don't see any other ways in, apart from looking for exploits, and they're far more likely to crash his box and do anything useful.
Alright. Well, set up a brute force. I'm gonna take a nap. Hey Greg,
Yeah?
we got full access to Madison's system, right?
Don't even think about it, okay? It's just not worth the trouble. You start messing around with that sort of shit, she's gonna notice in no time and the gig will be up.
Probably.
Alright. Anyway, brute force is running.
Hey, you're not flooding their network, are you?
No, I'm running it pretty slowly. No one's gonna notice unless they're actively looking for it.
Don't fucking like that. What? Why? Shh. Listen.
Who the fuck's that?
Shit, it's someone from the council, I think.
What the fuck's he doing here?
Documenting, obviously. Look, clipboard, taking photos, looks kind of officious.
Is he gonna come in?
I fucking well hope not.
Okay, fuck. Let's just go hide somewhere. Maybe he'll think this room's just full of old junk.
Dude, it's full of functioning computer equipment and stinks of burnt coffee.
Sorry about that.
Yeah, whatever. Look, just keep quiet, okay? Go turn those fucking monitors off, go on.
Ah, that's my toe! Shut up, you ignorant fucking mollusk! Just shut up!
What are we gonna do if he comes in?
I don't fucking know. Let's just hope he doesn't.
Is there something to hit him with? No! We're not going to attack a fucking council worker, you dickhead. Look for him, okay?
Is that his car?
I don't know. Can you see him?
No.
Me neither. I'm gonna go look for him. Make sure he's left.
Okay.
Just keep your fucking head down and stay quiet, alright? He's gone. He just drove off.
Just fucking hope they don't come back.
There's not really much we can do about it if they do.
How's the brute force running?
Pretty slowly. I have no idea when we're gonna hit pay dirt.
Alright. I'm gonna take that nap now.
Yeah, well. Sleep well, champ.
Diary. Somehow starting anything with dear seems condescending, and I think you should give some respect to the thing that has to endure your angst. Diary. I spoke to Tom today after school. He seemed uncomfortable. He ummed and ahed, and I think he was just looking for an excuse to stop talking to me. Dad chewed me out today something chronic. I came into the kitchen to get some dinner and found him staring at the fridge intently, just like looking at it would make more beer appear. I asked him what was wrong and he yelled at me to shut up. I didn't know what to do. I went back to my room. Diary. Tom's going out with Wendy now. I could have seen that coming. Diary. Mum was talking to me tonight. We had dinner together. It seemed like a nice idea until she started talking about this guy at her work. It's so obvious she liked him. I asked her why she was still with Dad. She put down her knife and fork and stared at me like I turned into Saddam Hussein. She said, "Why else did two people stay together?" I started writing again, got up and left. I expected it to make me feel better, somehow. But writing about people who aren't me just makes me hate being me even more. And the worst part is that feeling that I'm just overreacting, that somehow all of this is my own devising. Is that what Mum meant? Why else did two people stay together? I heard someone say something like that before. They stayed together for just one reason: their baby daughter. Diary. Today in school we had a debate in general studies about euthanasia. I argued that people have a right to die, and my teacher sent me out saying that I was blaspheming. I hate going to a fucking Catholic school. Diary. Someone told me once that journals are written to be read. I'm not sure just how true that is. I keep an online diary. It's nothing like this one. The diary I keep to be read is nothing like this. Today I saw a dead bird by the side of the road. I was tempted to pick it up and bring it back here just so I could watch the cat eat it.
Why are you so depressed?
Diary. I got mad today at school and snapped at Mrs. Tollidge in English. I told her that it was PMS and got to go home early. I had nothing else to do, so I bummed a cigarette off some guy at the bus stop and...
Liam, what the hairy buttfuck are you doing?
Uh-oh, he's caught you reading my diary. Didn't he tell you not to do that? You are so fucked now.
Oh, hey.
I can see that my convivial expletive has made my question too difficult for you to comprehend. Why is it that you certainly appear to be reading what looks an awful lot like a diary in Word file format?
It's because it is.
And would it perchance happen to be Madison Black's diary?
Yeah.
So, you went through her files.
Hey, you wrote the fucking program.
As an administration tool for schools, if you recall.
Yeah, that just happened to be tiny and hard to detect.
It was on the spec to be that way. Besides, I seem to recall you writing a fucking spam bot. Shit.
What?
Cars, again. Door slamming. Fuck, no second chance this time. Quick, turn everything off, let's leg it. Go.
Wait, where are we going?
Garage.
It's fucking leaking in here.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, right. Just... Look, you know, doing that sort of shit can get us in a world of hurt, man.
Yeah, I know. I turned on a webcam.
You fucking what? Are you fucking 15, Leon?
I'm sorry. She was hot.
You know shit. I saw her in the flesh, remember? Fine, you're sorry. Jesus, what happens when you turn on the webcam, Leon? Little red light. Little fucking red light! What if she'd seen it? Jesus, she noticed the light on, she's like, ooh, my webcam's on and I didn't turn it on. I wonder what that could mean, Leon.
She did.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
She saw it. She looked confused, looked over and unplugged it. I couldn't help it.
I don't fucking care what she is. She could be Mary fucking Magdalene for all I give a shit. Centerfold of the fucking Playboy fucking magazine, fucking super fucking raw tears all fuck edition.
Keep your voice down. You could hear us.
Yeah, right.
So what do we do after this?
You mean after this, or after we finally finish this job? If we ever finish this fucking job.
Yeah, the first one.
Go back there. Make sure they haven't messed around with the computers at all. See how close we are to getting onto their system.
And if they've found the computers?
Can't see them really doing much about it. And maybe they bothered to report it to the cops. So maybe we got a little less time to do it before a couple of beat boys come around and arrest us for vagrancy. Maybe. Can still hear them.
Yeah, same.
I don't see them leaving anytime soon. Come on. Let's go get some burgers. Maybe grab a beer. We'll check back in a couple of hours, right?
Yeah, I could do that. I could use a nap. Mind if I pass out in the back of your van?
Sure. That'd be right. So she gets this text message, right? And it's like, please bring no presents to the party because I think it'll make me feel worse when I forget yours later this year. And that's how she found out she wasn't rather deliberately not invited to her best friend's birthday.
That's fucking harsh, dude.
Yeah.
Oh well, wrong place, wrong time of the month. You know, the first time I met her was in hospital.
Yeah?
Yeah, you remember that time she had to get her stomach pumped?
Yeah, I heard about that.
Yeah, so I go to this party, right? But I was late. And, yeah, I turn up, walk in, dead set, no shit, Rachel's just running back out the other way. She grabs me, beer in hand, drives us to the hospital.
With a beer. Nice.
Yeah, it wasn't until I was in the emergency room that I realised that I still had a paper bag with a beer in it.
Classy.
How's the brute force going?
Nah, still going. No matches yet.
What are we up to?
We're in the bees.
Oh, looks like we're in for the long haul.
You know, Madison's really depressed.
You are so lucky I'm not a violent person.
I'm serious. It's not just the stuff she writes either. It's fucking mesmerising watching her. When I was younger, I remember reading this story. It's about this Russian chick, way back in the day. She was married to the mayor's son. She loved him a lot, but he kept cheating on her. Everyone knew, and she was the last one to find out. By the time she did find out, everyone was laughing at her. She couldn't even walk down the street. So she's gone to her husband and confronted him. He didn't even bother denying it. So she flees town, right? Goes into the woods for weeks until finally deciding to kill herself. So she goes down to the river and, drowns herself. Thing is, though, she didn't leave. She kept hanging around, haunting the woods, singing a sad song. She'd lure travellers down to the water, kill them, drag them in. It was only the travellers that were unfaithful to their wives, though, that she'd kill. The faithful travellers she'd lure down to the water, shake her head and disappear. I don't know, something... For some reason, Madison really reminded me of the Rusalka. Couldn't help but want to see more of her.
You are so smitten.
Yeah, I guess.
Turn on the microphone.
What?
If she's got a webcam, she's probably got a microphone as well. I wrote BDA so you'd be able to access any devices on system. And if you're getting a sound feed, there's no red light. She won't know.
You've done this before, haven't you?
What?
Well, not this before. Like, not hacking into people's systems for money. But you've done the whole voyeur thing before, haven't you?
When I first made this program, it was made so that schools could monitor what the students were doing on the systems.
Yeah, did I ever mention just how fascist that is?
Yeah, well, I was just doing what they paid me to do.
You know, when I told Kevin about that whole spambot vampire thing, I told him pretty much the same thing. And he looked at me and he said, the Nuremberg defense has never worked.
Yeah, well, so the software was put on all school-owned systems, right? So there I am late one night working on a problem the routers got with the traffic from the DMZ. I noticed that one of the laptops was logged in. Like, backdoor admins phoned in and said, "Hello, here I am, look at me." Thing is, nobody else was there. I turned on all the alarms in all the buildings except the one I was in.
So someone logged in from home?
Yeah, it shouldn't have been able to phone home, but it did. She was using a school laptop. 12th grader, Kelly something or other.
So you watched her?
No webcam on the system. I don't know. Late at night, I was bored, maybe a little lonely. Just watched what she was doing. Looked over stuff, that's all.
That it?
She was chatting with a guy. Lied about her age. Said she was 19. Sent him pictures.
Pornographic?
Fuck yeah. Nastiest, most fucking X-rated snatch shots I ever saw.
Any good?
I don't know. I kept trying to figure out which part of me it was that enjoyed that sort of thing.
Did you keep the pictures?
Do you really want to know?
Actually, no, I don't. Madison isn't doing anything pornographic. She's just typing on a computer.
I know. Go on, put the sound on. Turn on the camera.
You sure?
Oh, go on, fuck it. We're breaking into every other part of their house. It's a little bit late to try and pretend we've got any morals left, don't you think?
She looks so sad.
Listen. Turn it up.
What are we listening to?
Can you hear that? Really faintly in the background. It sounds like shouting. I think her parents are arguing.
Yeah, she wrote about that in her diary.
Do they argue a lot?
A little bit. Your dad drinks a lot.
Does he... And does he ever... You know, is he violent?
Once or twice. It's always directed towards the mother though, not her.
It's not gonna make it feel a whole hell of a lot better. That sort of shit's gonna fuck you up.
Yeah.
Dude.
I know you're watching me,
Oh, fuck.
and I don't care. Can you hear me too? Hello? Hello? Can you hear me? Or do I have to use sign language?
Can we talk to her?
No. Bad idea. Bad fucking idea. We should just leave it running. If she thinks it's a malfunction, she'll be okay.
Look, she fucking knows, alright? There's no use pretending now.
She does not fucking know.
Look, she fucking knows. I mean, what if she's good with computers and she's known from the word go that you put your stupid software on
Quit
a...
being stupid. She has no fucking idea.
I'm gonna talk to her.
No. Bad idea. Bad fucking idea.
Either you talk to me now, or I turn it off and go find someone who can look it over and tell me what you're doing. All I want to do is talk.
Shit. I got it. You or me.
What?
Someone's gonna talk to her. Do you want to do it or not?
Yeah.
Okay. Hold space to talk.
Hello?
Hi. What's your name?
Matthew.
At least you fucking lied.
Okay. Matthew. If I called the police, what would happen?
Nothing would link to us. The software would be erased if it couldn't contact us.
Let's say, for the moment, I believe you. Why are you inside my computer?
There's money involved.
I don't believe you.
It's not about you. We're not after you.
I don't quite know what you mean.
You're a means to an end.
How many other computers can you do this on?
As many as we like?
You're Australian.
Yes.
Do you know where I live?
Yes.
You could be lying.
I could have lied and said I didn't know where you lived.
You said it wasn't about me. Is it about my dad?
Yes.
Did you succeed?
Not yet. We need more time.
So, why were you looking at me?
Because I saw you by accident. I wanted to see you again. You look depressed.
That's because I am.
I want to help you.
I don't want anyone's help. Do you have a girlfriend, Matthew?
No?
Have you ever had a girlfriend?
Why would you ask that?
You hacked into a girl's computer and looked at her through a webcam?
I have. 2 of them.
How long for?
Until they found out about each other?
Quit being silly or you'll regret it.
Sorry. There were 2. Separately.
Did you sleep with either of them?
Yes. Why are you asking me these questions?
Because you've been through all my files, right?
I'm sorry.
No, you're not. You read it though, right?
Yes.
How long did it take? I kept it for a year until a few weeks ago. I didn't know why I was writing it, but I was curious. How long did it take to read?
Just one night.
I won't tell my dad.
Why not?
There's a condition.
What condition?
You have to meet me.
What?
You heard me. Do you work alone?
How do you know I don't live interstate?
Do you?
No.
Then that's not a problem. Do you work alone?
No, there's another guy.
Is he your friend, or do you just work with him?
We're friends.
Right. Where do you want to meet?
Wait, when do you want to meet?
Now, or I tell people.
Aren't you afraid? Isn't this a little creepy?
I don't mind. I'm going to tell you something that I didn't put in my diary.
What's that?
I was going to kill myself tonight.
Why would you tell me that?
I don't know. Okay. Maybe I do.
So tell me.
Do you think I'm lying?
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't follow.
Do you want me to die?
No.
Well then, if you meet me, maybe I won't. It gives me something else to do tonight.
Alright. So, where do you want to meet?
Let's go get a drink. I'm gonna need it. This is fucked up.
Very.
And we've fucked this up way beyond measure.
Maybe not.
Do you seriously think she's suicidal?
Yeah.
I don't. Sociopathic maybe, but not suicidal. I don't know what she's playing at, but I'm pretty sure that she said what she said to get us to meet her. I'd be no way surprised if she had any number of freaks waiting to beat the shit out of us.
I think you're wrong.
I'm not going.
What? You fucking have to.
I just said I'm not going.
Dude, you fucking have to. Alright, if you're right, then I'm fucked without you. If you're wrong, and I go alone, she could tell her dad, or call the cops, or worse.
This is so screwed up.
I think it was more me than you.
No. I'm pretty sure I brought this last round of screwed up on our heads.
Maybe a little, but I started it.
It reminds me of, I had this boss once. Turkish guy. Trusted him so much, but he paid me fuck all. It was my first job out of high school. $5.50 an hour to repair computers. I worked with these two guys. Two fucking retards. It's incredible. One of them was, I think he was a little bit mentally retarded, spoke with a lisp. Couldn't repair anything to save himself. The other one hardly spoke any English at all, so he'd give him a system to fix, ask him to see what was wrong with it. He'd turn it on, and because he couldn't read what the customer had written on the card, if it booted up okay, he'd be like, "Not broken," put it back on the file. So within a couple of months, I was head of the repair department. What that really meant, of course, was he'd tell me what to fix, and I had to either fix it myself or decide which of my mongoloid assistants to delegate it to. That's not really fair. Everyone's good for something. But the boss, you know, he was complicated. Customer had come in with something real simple wrong with their computer. You know, dead network card, flat CMOS battery. Whatever, didn't matter. The simpler the better as far as he was concerned. It'd make me lie to their faces and charge them $75 an hour for the privilege. I hated that. So I've been working there for about a year. Could barely afford anything for myself. Kept telling myself I was worth more. He had this word for us. You see, you bunch of nightjars. Fucking nightjars. Never told us what he meant by it. Took me ages to tumble to it. See, nightjars, it's kind of bird. They're nocturnal. Because I'm pretty sure there's more to it than that, but I had no idea what he meant. Then I guess that's a big thing I figured out. Can't ever figure everything out. So in the end, I stole a couple of hard drives. Not big ones. But, you know, with what I was getting paid, they seemed like they were worth stealing. I don't know what tipped him off. Maybe he's just fucking lucky. Maybe he's better with people than I thought. Doesn't really matter. It's not the point. Hell, maybe he saw. Point is, he knows. I got fired because I stole. You know, the thing is, I may have progressed, but nothing's changed. See, I learned what that Turkish guy tried to teach me. Dishonesty, Leon. I've been lying, cheating, and fucking around since they fired my sorry ass.
One of my favourite books was this line. The man who tells the truth is bound to get caught out, sooner or later.
We really are one fucked up generation, aren't we, Leon? Come on. Let's go find your princess.
Hey,
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 I guess you have me at a disadvantage. By about what? 24 hours? Maybe 48?
something like that, yeah.
So do me one favour. Tell me your real names.
I'm Leon.
I'm Greg.
Why'd you want to meet us here?
Figure out who you were, I guess. It's cold here. Take me back to where you guys can access my computer.
Why?
I want to see it.
Did you come alone?
Maybe. Why?
I'm not a little guy. And I wouldn't have come alone.
Yeah, well... people are complex.
No kidding.
This is the strangest way I've ever met anyone in my entire life.
This isn't exactly usual for us either.
Is this what it's normally like?
How do you mean?
Do you guys always work out of a shed, out of a waste of space place like this?
Define normally.
You guys haven't done this before.
No.
Huh. But someone paid you to do this.
Yes.
How much?
Are you going to blackmail us?
No. Just curious.
2,000.
Are you sure you aren't going to blackmail us?
There are two things I want from you.
What?
And they are?
You two realize you're fucked in the head, right?
Yeah.
A bit, yeah.
Good. Oh, and Leon?
Yes?
You're never gonna sleep with me.
Okay.
That's one. That's all one. Now for two, tell me why you're here.
What?
Why you're doing this. Tell me why.
Why do you care?
Because for one reason or another, you guys do something that's worth doing, or you think so. Tell me why you do it. Both of you now, quick. Leon, just tell me.
A challenge. It's a challenge.
You, Greg?
I needed the money.
I thought you said you didn't need the money.
I lied.
Will you do it again?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
Will you do it again?
Maybe. Okay, yes.
Yeah, alright. Like I said, yes, I'll do it again.
I want to help.
What?
Teach me.
Teach you what?
All of it.
That's a lot.
Leon, wait.
What?
Yes?
There are two sides to this sort of thing. The first I need to know. I mean, for serious this time. Are you going to tell your dad? I need a solid yes or a solid no.
No. Not a thing.
Good. Okay. Let's pack this shit up.
Yeah, what about the brute force?
We won't need any more, will we? Let me ask you a question, Leon. What do you trust more? A male voice or a female voice? Fuck. Fuck. Oh, fuck, shit. Fuck. What? Why? Fuck, he was just a stupid kid. He was just a kid. He's just a stupid kid who cared about you. He was just a stupid fucking kid who cared about you. And he was...
Diary, I found 2 more birds today. They were staring in the window at me. I went out to get them and brought them in so the cat could eat them.
Paris City lights up a mystery.